Well, hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to my world. Welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC, and I am Cedrick LaFleur, your host. I'm excited to be back with you. You know, if I'm here, it's Monday, and today I have a dynamic guest with us in house. But you know what? Let me talk a little, give you a little bit of information first. You know, Talk Leadership. Cedrick is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. You know, our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. Now, guiding leadership principle is the law of buy-in that says people buy into the leader, then the vision. You know, Mahatma Gandhi spent decades teaching others how to gain their freedom through efforts and nonviolence. Well, eventually, those people of India, the people of India, bought into his vision and they were able to help him carry it out. You see, the lesson is people don't buy into what you do, they buy into why you do it. People will gravitate to the leader before the dream. You know, the boss, Bruce Springsteen himself said, a time comes when you need to stop waiting for the man or woman you want to become and start being the man or woman you want to be. Now, that's just awesome right there, right? Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a dynamic leader with us who is being the woman that she wants to be consistently every day. You know, every week I like to do a proper introduction of my guest, and tonight is no different. Let me introduce to you my special guest, Miss Tessa. Now, welcome, Tessa.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Well, awesome. I'm excited. So let me tell you a little bit about Tessa. Tessa Kampen is a leadership coach and a human behavior consultant, helping teams and organizations create spaces of psychological safety where team members feel valued and inspired to show up authentically. With over 10 years of experience in coaching and personal development, she helps teams improve communication, their understanding, and trust with her creative experiential learning model. Now, her ability to quickly connect and relate to her clients allows Tessa to build strong relationships and trust quickly with those that she serves. Now, she is trained with the largest leadership team in the world, the John Maxwell team, and she is a mother of two and a wife of 16 years. So, welcome, Miss Tessa Kampen, to the show.
Thank you so much, Cedric, for having me. This is so fun. I'm super excited and honored to be here. And I guess we can say that it's no longer the John Maxwell team that we're a part of, but the Maxwell leadership team is what we're both a
Yes,
part of now. So yeah,
yes,
just happened
absolutely.
today.
Yes, absolutely. The rebrand and all that type stuff happened today. So that's awesome. That's outstanding. And I know that you are hoping to be at the International Maxwell Conference today, but that little thing about COVID and all that stuff kind of messed you up, right?
Yeah, I know it's unfortunate, but I'm living through all of my John Maxwell team members. They keep sharing all their stuff here, and that's the beauty of being on social media. You get to see and live through others. So sad to
Yeah.
be there, but I'm excited to go in August.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, you know, I read your bio, Tessa, but you know, our audience really like to hear from you about your journey, leadership, and how did you get to where you are today? So, give us a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting because you never know where life's going to take you. My background's actually in dentistry. And so I went to school to become a dental assistant. And after I had my kids, I knew that I wanted more for myself. And so I went on and joined a national organization that was supporting women in business. And, I had no business background. I came from the dental field and, I was great with people, but I did not know anything about business. And so I spent about 8 years with them and I learned a ton. And meanwhile, I, have always been a huge learner. I love to read. I love to learn. And I was introduced to John Maxwell. So as I started to learn more about him and his organization, I stumbled upon this world of leadership, really, and the ability to be certified with him. And so I 2018, at the end of 2018, I decided that it was my time, and I was going to do this, and I was going to do it properly. And so I started studying under the John Maxwell team, and here I am.
Well, that's exciting, and always awesome to see people decide to grow and expand their horizons. And folks, when tonight, you can listen to what Tessa has to say. And if you're that person that now needs to grow and expand and do different things, tune in to see how she did it and what she did, and maybe it'll encourage you and inspire you to go to the next level as well. So, Tessa, people buy from people and they connect with people they know, like, and trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us something fun and interesting about you so people can get to know, like, and trust you.
Oh, that's a loaded question. Well, I don't know where everyone's tuning in from, but I'm in Ontario, Canada, and I was born and raised about 9 hours north of where I'm currently living. And so something interesting, I guess, about me is that, and maybe not everyone knows her, but Shania Twain is from my hometown, and I met her, and I was able to dance with her at one of our local clubs. She did a free concert for us back in Timmins one year, and I just happened to see a big lineup of men just, in front of some really short woman wearing a baseball cap, and and I was like, what are they lining up for? And next thing you know, Shania Twain comes out, and here she is, and she kind of came into our circle, and we were able to hang out with her, so that was kind of fun.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna have to test your dancing skills out tonight.
I also won the limbo contest last time I was in Dominican, so I am a limbo champion. Now, I don't know how many people were on that race with me, but I'm pretty good at the limbo.
Okay, all right. Well, that's going to be another challenge we're going to have to put out there then. All right. So, tell us a little bit about your business niche.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting because for me, it's not a particular niche as in the person, but it's in what they need from me. And so right now I'm finding myself in the school, kind of the school space, and I'm finding myself in the financial space as well. And I don't think that I intentionally positioned myself to be there, but I was really interested in helping shape culture and behavior and helping, as you had mentioned in the bio, creating these psychologically safe environments where people can just show up authentically. And so my niche is really the people who are looking to have this inclusive long table where people can do that. And so the people I serve end up kind of coming in all different areas and industries. And so I always find that interesting because when I worked with my clients, that's the first thing I say to them. You have to pick a niche. And we all say that. But for me, and maybe this is okay, my niche is what I actually do and not who I serve.
Awesome. I like that. Your niche is what she said. Her niche is what she does, and not necessarily who she serves. Absolutely, like that. So, what made you decide to become an entrepreneur in the leadership development space?
I honestly, as much as I want to say I kind of fell here, I just really fell in love with the idea of helping others. That's always been my thing. I'm a highly relational person. I know you're DISC certified as well, so I'm an SI. And I just have this desire in me to connect and help other people. And so I never saw myself actually as someone in a leadership position. I remember saying to someone, leadership doesn't look like me. Success doesn't look like me. And I had that for a long time, because when I thought of leadership, I thought of that person sitting in a boardroom who had the title of CEO. And now if anyone loves Robin Sharma like I do, we know that, you lead without a title. And I had, it took me a while to understand that. And so as I started to read and develop and learn, I just kind of fell in love with this idea of leadership and the massive umbrella that it is. And so I just kind of fell into that role. And now it's obviously an intentional part of my business and my life. But at the time, I wasn't looking to be a leadership trainer. I was just looking to lead better and help other people lead better and inspire them to lead better. And however that looked, I didn't know at the time. And here I am. So it's kind of crazy.
Well, sometimes that happens, right? And it happens. It just happens to us, and then we take it and run with it. That is awesome. So, from what I heard, someone is on a little journey to go to Dominican Republic, and on a transformation trip. So, tell us about this trip. What are you going to be doing?
We are going to be helping leaders. We're going to be transforming leaders. We're going to be, John Maxwell has an amazing book, Change Your World, that was launched. And with that, we are out there doing that exact thing through these transformation tables. And someone had asked me, Tessa, what's a transformation table? And, simply it's teaching leadership values. It's helping leaders understand these values so they can go and teach them to the people that they serve as well. And so there's 75 of us, 75 coaches that are going to be going down to Dominican. We had a team of coaches go already in November, and they were able to train and facilitate these transformation tables for thousands of leaders already in a Dominican. And we're going to finish the project. And so we're going to be spending time with the leaders in Dominican. We're going to be adding value to them. We're going to be teaching them the leadership principles so that they can continue to do this work throughout Dominican. So I'm very excited about that.
Wow. Well, that is awesome and outstanding. And tell us when you said you're going again.
We're May 11th. So May 11th to the 16th.
Okay, May 11th. And you're going to help continue to transform people in other countries. Now, that's a worthy cause.
Yeah. My kids, it was funny. I picked them up from school last week, and I said that, I'm going to be going to Dominican. And they're like, oh, so how much are you getting paid to go, Mom? And I said, I'm not getting paid. Mom's paying to go on this trip. This is not, this is because they heard I'm going there to work, and they thought you're getting paid. And it's just really neat to be able to share with them that we're adding value, and it's, part of our business model, or my business model. And I believe a lot of us on the John Maxwell team is to give back to our communities and to give back to the world around us. And so, if this is one of the ways that I'm able to do that, I'm just honored to be able to go. And I think it'll be great for my kids to be able to witness that we can go and do these things. And it doesn't, not only in my own community, which I already do, and I think it's such a blessing, but we can go in communities around the world and we can add value to them. And maybe one day they'll want to do that too. So
yes, absolutely, 100%. So tell us, how has your priorities changed from when you first became an entrepreneur until today?
I don't, my priorities haven't changed that much, to be honest. My focus has always been my family. It's been, family first. And maybe that's not true. I'm going to actually back up for a moment. Family first has always been my focus, my faith and family. But there was probably a time where I was putting my business ahead of even my family. And unfortunately, when you love, and I say unfortunately, when you love what you do, sometimes it's easy to just do it and be like, right, 5 more minutes.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest, COVID was a blessing for me because it really helped me to reprioritize why I started my business. I started my business so I can be here for my family, so I can take my summers off, so I can be done at 3 o'clock and all these things. And so COVID reminded me that this is not a game of just, running yourself to the bone. And, even though you love it, you still need to create those boundaries. And so I've been able to do that. And it's just been really wonderful for me to get back to those things that I went into business for. I went into business for my family and for the lifestyle I have now. And I want to keep it that way. So.
Yes, that's awesome. And I like to ask that question, and it's interesting. I get it, that response a lot from people say, well, it hadn't really changed, and then they go, well, maybe it has, and when they start really reflecting on how things have changed for them, and that's awesome though that you realized that you started your business so that you could spend more time with your family, but then your business, you had to work your business and to get it off the ground. And so then you kind of slipped a little bit. But the good thing is you've reprioritized. COVID helped a lot of people, quite honestly, reprioritize their life and everything.
Yeah. COVID, I mean, it was not all great, obviously, for lots of people. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of people out of work, and I was speaking to a friend today too. He owns a gym, and his gym was closed down for many years, like over a year here in Canada. Or you think about, we get sick, and what do? They close down our healthcare system, and like the gyms and things that keep us healthy. But we talked about how, and Chris Robinson said this, it could have been an opportunity to make us bitter or better. And I really just took it to make me better. And so, COVID was a blessing for me. And sometimes I have a hard time saying that because I know so many people went through a hard time, but it truly was a blessing for me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And I definitely help a lot of reprioritize a lot of things. If you'd have told someone in December of 2019 that their job could go away, they could be stuck at home, and not only your subdivision, not only your town, not only your city, not only your state, not only just these United States, but the world would be totally shut down and you can't leave your house. Everyone would have said you're crazy. It's the way that's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And now people know that it can happen, and hopefully it never happens again, or at least in our lifetime, right? But
Right.
hopefully it was a wake-up call for a lot of people and helped them realize that they need to prioritize what they're doing, how they're doing it, and why they're doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if I press the doorbell right now, ding dong, and one of your customers walk through the door, what would they say about you and your service?
Oh man. Well, I would hope that they would say that it's just a pleasure working with me. I mean, I can't speak for my clients, but I did speak with a client today because I just had an opportunity to serve them last week with the leadership game. And across the board, they said it was one of the most amazing experiences that they've had. Now, whether that's the game or myself, I'm not quite sure. But I would really, at the end of the day, I want people to think of me and think about someone who cares about them and their future, that cares about their success, that truly is there for their team. I often hear the word authentic when people talk about me. They say that I'm very authentic and inspiring and caring. And so I would hope that that's what they would say when they, come in my door and they just finished working with me, that I was able to deliver an experience that not only allowed them to change behavior and move towards, a better future for their company or their organization or their team, but that I cared about them. Because it's not about, the money. And for me, it never has been about the money. it's really about the people. And I think as leaders, if we can show up and serve and make it all about the people, then financially we're just going to be blessed.
Yes, absolutely. And she's right. It's not about the money, but folks, she's not saying that she just want to do things for free all the time. She's saying she still wants you to pay her. Okay.
I do need a little bit of money to live, but you're right.
Absolutely. So hey, so what would you say has been the biggest challenge doing your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, me. I'm my biggest challenge all the time. I mean, it's easy to doubt. It's easy to compare myself to other people. It's easy to watch amazing leaders like you as well and go, man, he makes it look so easy and why is it so hard for me? And so, for me, it's just really been making sure that I protect my mindset, that I keep myself, in the zone and really allow myself to have those healthy rivals, as Simon Sinek talks about, but
Mhm.
not have people that I compare myself to. So then I diminish my own value or worth.
Right.
So that's really been my biggest challenge, is just keeping myself in check and remembering, why am I here? What are my gifts and my talents? And just being able to show up and use those to the best of my ability and not worry about what's happening around me and other people around me.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You can play the comparison game all day long, right?
Yeah.
um, why did someone go in a store and they got the sweetest fruit versus I didn't, right? Why did the person go here and they got the? You could play that comparison game in just about every area of life if you want to. But here's what I always tell people: look, when you see someone else having some success, um, reach out to them and find out, what did they do, how did they do it, right? So that, hey, well, maybe I need to rethink how I'm doing something. Maybe, oh, I'm right on. I just have to just keep doing that same thing. Because let me tell you what, I do that from time to time. I'll see someone did something, and sometimes it'll surprise them and say, well, man, you're successful, right? I'll see what you did. I mean, maybe I can do something a little bit different, a little bit better.
Yeah.
Um, and
And you've helped me. I've seen you do some games and I've reached out to you and I was like, "Hey, what was that activity that you used?" And people are surprised. I don't know if you find that, but people have reached out to me, especially in the last couple of months, with, some of the success that I've had, and, Tessa, what are you doing? Or what is this game? Or I saw a picture of that and I'm more than happy to share. And some people are shocked. They're like, why are you just sharing this? And I'm like, why would I not share this? If I'm having success, I want you to have success. And I am not of the mentality that, this scarcity mindset where if I share something with you, then that takes anything away from me. And
right,
I think we need to get away from that, even in our own communities. I mean, I'm mentoring another leadership trainer and coach in my community. And she's like, I can't believe you're helping me and kind of sharing all this stuff with me. We're kind of, competition. And I'm like, there is no competition,
right,
right?
yeah,
We're both, there's more than enough business for all of us. Some people are not going to resonate with me. I can't, I'm not going to own all of my city or the cities around me. And so
right.
I think if we can get in the habit of just sharing and adding value to other people, then everyone, that's how we add value to the communities and the world around us, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's dive into that a little bit right there, because you hit on something. I really I agree 100% with what you said, and like that point. Let's say, for example, you live in a city and there's 200,000 people in the city, right? You can't service all those people.
No.
No matter how good you are, it's going to be impossible for you to service all 200,000 of those people. So
Mhm.
why would you be worried about someone else in the same space, right? If you look at in just about every city in the world, there's a McDonald's, there's a Burger King, there's a KFC, there's a Popeyes, there's a Chick-fil-A, right?
Yeah,
On on all these street corners, and guess what? They're all thriving still, right?
absolutely.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. People need to get out of that comparison game, competitiveness game, and it's like you said, it's a scarcity mindset. But here's the thing, folks, and you need to understand this. When you are a person who doesn't mind sharing and give, man, what happens is it always comes back to you, and comes back to you bigger than what you gave, right? So be willing to share, help, answer the call when someone living right next door to you needs your help. You will benefit from it, your business will benefit from it, and the world around you will benefit from it. So thanks for sharing that point. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Tessa, leaders come in all different types of packages with different strengths, right? You have certain strengths that I don't have. I have some strengths that maybe you don't have, right? But what strengths do you feel are important to be a to be successful as a leader?
Yeah, I think, we need to be able to understand the people that we're working with and the people around us. Again, one of my strengths, I'm a highly relational person. I'm, influential, but that doesn't mean that you need those two qualities for you to be successful, right? You may possess something different. And I think that's the beauty of leadership, is when you surround yourself with people who may have different strengths than you, then you become a more equipped leader to go out and do the things that you need to do. So definitely, I would say, you need to be confident in yourself. You need to understand your strengths and your limitations, and how to manage your limitations and how to lean into your strength zone. And I think it's a huge benefit as a leader to be able to individualize the people you serve and the people you work with, and treat them as those individuals. Um, I was reading actually in a book recently about that, and it's from the Gallup Strengths book. And they said that really great managers, all of them possess this gift, this talent of individualization. And it's this, and when I read that, I thought, how true is that, right? For you to be able to see every person as they are. And when I think about the work that I do in, creating these spaces where everyone feels safe to show up that way, I think that's really what it's speaking to, is we as leaders are able to really see people for who they are and the gifts that they bring and the uniqueness that they bring. And then we're able to work with them to bring the best out in them. I think that's how leadership, organizations and leaders thrive, because it's not about me, and it's about what's the best for you, Cedric, and how can I bring that out in you, and how together can we go out and do amazing things in this world, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can pinpoint the exact thing that I would say a leader needs, but definitely compassion, and definitely empathy, and this ability to understand the people they lead, they work, and they serve, and then just be able to individually treat them and push them and train them and do what they need to do to be able to get their team and those they lead to the next level.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're talking about inspiring people, right?
Yeah.
With all of those things, inspiring them to do something bigger than themselves, inspiring them to go to another level consistently. Sound like what Bruce Springsteen said, right? It's a time for there to come to a time where you got to stop just thinking about it and start being that person that you want to become.
Yeah.
And the
Absolutely.
leader's job is to help their team realize that and notice that and expect that, and all of a sudden they start delivering those things.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, this is the why we love the work that we do, right?
So privileged. Just feel, it again, going back to the priorities question, this is why it's so easy to just do what we do. I find is, it's working with incredible leaders and humans who just want to go and add value. And oftentimes I'm like, I have to pinch myself that I actually get paid to do this, because it's really like dream work. It's just such a gift and a blessing to be able to do the work that we do. And so
Yes, absolutely. I see Jared has a comment. He says, "Great message from two great leaders." So I know he's
Hey,
talking about
Jared.
you.
Aw. Jared's amazing, and he's a fellow Canadian. He's home. He's home. So happy you're listening in, my friend.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So thanks, yeah, for tuning in. So Tessa, we have a segment on here, Talk Leadership with Cedrick, that we call "Would You Rather." All
Mm.
right. So we're going to play a little round of "Would You Rather."
All right.
So would you rather win the lottery or never have to pay taxes?
Well, I truly believe that we need to pay Caesar what's Caesar. So I would pay taxes. And although I will not, and I don't play the lottery, if I just happen to win it one day, I'm not going to argue with
Well, that's one of those things that I don't think too many people would argue if they actually won it. An audience, as always, you can participate in this. When I ask the question, just put your response in the comments, and I'll pop them up on the screen. So, would you rather have a sports stadium named after you or have a university named after you?
Oh, I'm a huge sports fan, but I think a university named after me would be kind of cool.
University. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Um, would you rather have free Apple products forever or have free Wi-Fi wherever you go?
I'm probably going to disappoint a lot of people here. I'm going to have to go with Wi-Fi. I'm not an Apple user. My kids have Macs and my son wants an iPhone, but I'm Android all the way.
What?
So don't hate me.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're gonna have to. Yeah, we kids. Hopefully you're listening. We're gonna have to indoctrinate mom in Apple, right? She yeah, before she goes to the Dominican Republic, we got to tie her down and get her an Apple phone. So would you rather fulfill your biggest wish or resolve your biggest regret?
Oh. I don't have regrets, so I'm going to go with wish. I think everything that happens for a reason, and it was supposed to happen to me to teach me a lesson, and so I'm going to go with the wish.
Okay, all right. So here are a couple fun ones here. Would you rather own a private island or own a private jet?
Well, I need the jet to get to the island, right? So I kind of want both, but I guess I guess if I can only have one, I'll take the island, and I'll find someone who has a private jet.
Okay, all right. Would you rather read minds or be able to travel at light speed?
Light speed would be great. My family lives 9 hours away from me, and if I can just snap my fingers and be there, I think that would just be incredible.
Okay, all right. Would you rather be a ninja or a pirate?
Ooh, ninja.
A
I would be a
ninja.
ninja.
Okay, all
Yes.
right. Star at people, right? Okay, I got you.
Yes.
Would you rather continue with your life, or would you rather have uh, or would you rather restart your life?
Hmm. I think I would continue. I think, life, I I have no complaints as to, like I said, everything that has happened up until now. And so to restart it, I may never meet you, all these people in
Yeah,
my
hey,
life.
well,
I would
yeah,
rather
yeah.
just,
Forget all that then.
I would rather just keep on living. Mind you, I don't want to live too old. So this might be a
Yes.
trick question, this one.
Okay, all right. Couple more. Would you rather be best friends forever with your favorite celebrity or date your celebrity crush for only 2 years?
Oh, best friends forever.
Best friends forever. All right, last one. Would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or have $100,000 in real money?
I would take the real money. Then I can go and give it away to someone who needs it.
Okay, well, see, that's why you got to get the Amazon gift cards. So then you can give those away. You got $1 million worth of them to give away.
That's true.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for playing that round of Would You Rather.
Oh, that was fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So let's get back to some serious questions here. We have to be serious on this show. So, so many times new entrepreneurs want to give up or throw in the towel, right? What advice would you give someone who is right now questioning whether they should give up or keep going?
This is always an interesting question because there have been many, many points in my journey where I honestly have wanted to give up. But then I was reminded that this journey is supposed to be hard, right? It's not supposed to be easy. And we've all heard the cliche, if it was easy, everyone would do it. But when you expect hard, then when it comes, you're prepared for it because you knew it wasn't going to be easy. And so, I'm always reminded of that 3 feet from gold story as well, that if you read Think and Grow Rich, it's in there and it's been explained in other places. What if you were like right at that point? Right now, it may seem like it's so hard, nothing's going your way, and you've been working, and you're doing everything you think you need to do. And what if you quit today and you were simply 3 feet from gold? A pivot to the right or a pivot to the left opens up the doors. Would you regret that decision? And if you can, in your being, say, no, I wouldn't regret it, well, then maybe you're chasing something that you don't truly believe in, right? Maybe you need to question and understand the dream you're going after. But I think, giving up to me means I'm not chasing or going after what I'm supposed to be going after. And so if you truly believe in whatever it is that you're doing right now and you're going after, then just expect the hard. And I know that's not an easy answer. And I know that's probably not what people are expecting. But when you expect the hard and the hard comes, you can get through it. You get and rally yourself around other people who are maybe going through the same hard. I have a friend who's a travel agent, and there's probably other travel agents who will watch this. Past 2 years has been hard. No one would have blamed her if she threw in the towel and quit. But she knows her mission and she wants to help people through travel. And so, she hasn't given up. And so I think we really need to tap into that why, and why are we doing what we're doing? And if it's not something worth pursuing and you feel like you will not regret giving up today, then that's a decision you're going to have to really consider. But I say, think about this journey and know that it's going to be hard and just keep going.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. The journey may not be easy, but it'll be worth it if you keep going, right? That's awesome. Thanks very much for that. You don't realize, Tessa, but you just helped someone who's struggling, someone who is right now sitting at the end of their sofa, sitting at their desk, sitting in their car, in their living room. They're disgusted because the plan that they had not working right. The plan that they thought was like the $1 million plan is not working for them right now. And you just help them understand that if they just keep going, it'll work. They just may have to adjust it a little bit, but they just have to continue versus quitting and giving up. And then next week, see someone else take that same plan and, blow it up. Right. So thank you.
Plans change, right? Plans change. The goal doesn't change, but plans do. And when we're sitting, the thing is when it comes to social media as well, we see everyone's highlight reel. And so if you're sitting here quitting because you're seeing all these people share their successes, go and find someone that's successful, that is real, that is willing to share with you all the failures, all the hard times, right? And right. I'm always open and transparent when I'm speaking with, friends or teammates or anything. And I'm more than willing to share the hard if it's going to encourage them. Because I think if we just share all the good, then there will be people out there wanting to quit, thinking this is way harder and it should be easier. Whereas No, it shouldn't be easier. And you're exactly where you need to be right now. And maybe for you, it's just simply a pivot, right? The hard moments I find for me have been moments where it was like life just saying to me, Tessa, you're not listening. This is not the way. And so I'm going to keep, putting hard in front of your path until you realize that you need to pivot. This is not the way. And so if it's really hard for you right now, maybe it's just not the way.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great advice for someone. So please, folks, if you're listening to this live or you're listening to the replay, take her advice and change the plan. Keep the goal. Just change the plan. Pivot a little bit. Be okay with pivoting. It doesn't mean that you're less of a person or less of a business man or woman. It just means that you got to pivot a little bit to get to where you want to go. Sometimes they'll have you have driven a route for 10 years straight, but today they're doing construction on that route and the road is closed. That doesn't mean you don't go to work. You just change the plan and you go another way. What's the exact same thing with your business? There's just a roadblock there. You just need to pivot a little bit. Thank you again for sharing that. I really appreciate that. So why do you think it's important for people to always continue to grow?
When John talks about that, he talks about when we stop growing, we really stop living. I think, I learn every day from anyone. I learn from my kids. I learn from even the people I'm going to teach. I learn from them. And so I think growth has to be this process, this journey. It's not a destination. Even our trees continue to grow, right? Everything needs to continue to grow in order to thrive. And so I think if I get to a place where I feel as though I've made it, or I don't need to learn anymore, or, I don't need to grow, then that's really just my ego probably talking to me.
Right.
And I think I will not be able to serve as a leader to my potential if I decide today is the day I'm going to stop growing. And so there's always more for me to learn. There's always more for me to grow. And so I think it's important, that we never stop this journey of growth. It becomes an ongoing journey until we die.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So Tessa, you have a picture on your shelf behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what's on that. Who's on that picture?
This one here?
Yes, that one right by your finger.
Right there. So that one's actually, I'm looking the wrong way. That's actually at my daughter's baptism.
Okay.
So I can grab it for a moment. It's a picture of my husband and my in-laws and then my two children. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
But both of my kids were actually born really early. My son was born 12 weeks early, and my daughter was born 6 weeks early. And so just having this picture here is pretty neat because, we all know the challenges that can happen with having babies really early. But that's my little happy family.
Oh, people like and trust, right? And I always like to find something that I can get people to share something of them that maybe the audience hasn't seen or noticed or anything like that. So that's why I noticed that picture there when I first got on. I said, I'm gonna ask her who's in that picture. So awesome. And how old is your daughter now?
So my daughter is 12 and my son is 14.
Awesome. So they are one's already a teenager, one's about to be a teenager, and
yes,
fun times in the Kampen house.
Yes. Yep. Lots of attitude. It's all good. No, I'm just kidding. It's that picture of the girl that says, I don't have attitude, I'm a leader. That's been my daughter her whole life. So I guess she follows in her mother's footsteps, but it's fun.
That is awesome. So knowing what you know now, is there anything you would have done differently from when you first started out?
The only thing I can think of really is I would have believed in myself sooner. For many, many years, as I said earlier, I just, would always think success doesn't look like me or leadership doesn't look like me. And who am I to be up here in front of, business owners with no business degree? And so it took me a while to build the belief in myself that my credibility or my ability to help other people doesn't come in a, university degree or a BA or some letters next to my name. We all have the ability to continue to learn and grow and better ourselves and our skills, but you can't do that if you don't believe in yourself, right? If
Right.
everyone around me believes in me and I don't, I'm not going to succeed. And so it's that saying that you can only believe or you can only succeed if you believe in yourself. Now, having people around you that believe in you is a bonus, and it's amazing. And I encourage and hope everyone has that. But without the belief in yourself, then you're never going to get to where you want to go. And so I just wish that I knew that sooner, that I was capable of learning, I was capable of growing, and if I just knew what my gifts were, if I knew my gifts and talents, because I didn't do any work with DISC or Strength Finders until about 2 years ago. And so before that, it was sort of a guessing game. What am I good at? What can I do? And so I think, if I would have been able to learn a little bit more about myself and grown in awareness as to what is Tessa really gifted in, what are her strengths, and then started to lean into those when I first started this journey, who knows where I would be. But
Right.
I'm thankful to be here today. And so I'll just continue to learn and continue to raise that awareness.
Yes. Well, now you're going to be flying over on a private jet to Dominican Republic, and helping a country transform. You're going to come back and go back into Canada and continue to help Canadians and Canadian businesses transform, which is awesome. So, there's a big company that is a Canadian company by the name of Shopify. And they are in their young existence, they've been a very good company. So, but that's a company that could always use some more growth and development in the leadership development space. So when you get back from Dominican Republic, now boom, you storm right into Shopify and say, "Hey, I'm here to help."
That's a good idea. I never even thought of that. Just going in and doing that. I might have to do it.
See, and I'll always take royalties.
More than happy to share. More than happy to share. I think I'm going to need you to come with me because that's a fairly large company. So.
That is, yeah. Well, hey, we can make that happen.
Absolutely.
So, hey, would you rather have 1 million friends or $1 million?
Oh, that's tough because I want to say I wouldn't want either of those. I mean, if I had 1 million friends, how can I truly build authentic connections with all of them? Right? I don't think I can. And for me, I want to be able to build those really great, authentic relationships. Now, having $1 million would be great too. So I think I'm gonna have to go with the money.
You gotta have one.
I'm gonna have to go with the money because I think I can still then build. Hopefully, the $1 million will bring me the 1 million friends. So I'll just get both. So I'm gonna choose the 1 million.
Okay, all right. So how can our listeners find more about you, stay connected with you?
They can follow me on social, on Facebook. It's really just my name, Tessa Kampen, and my website is the same, tessakampen.com. I'm on LinkedIn as well and Instagram, but just reach out to me if you want to connect. tessakampen.com is my email. I'm always happy to connect with people. And I do host actually a bi-weekly meetup for business owners, non-business owners. It's not really a networking group where there's no elevator pitches or anything like that. It's really this. It's conversations with other leaders and other community like-minded people actually from all over the world. And we have great conversation and we encourage and inspire one another to go and do great things in this world.
So when am I going to get an invite then?
You're invited, my friend. I am going to send you the link We met on Thursday last week. We meet every other Thursday, but we have what's called March break next week. So I'm taking the week off to be with my kids. And so we're going to meet up in 3 weeks, but I will send you the link, and I would love for you to come and join the conversation.
Yeah, awesome. I'd love to do the meetup with you guys.
Absolutely. It's bright and early, though. It's 8:30 Eastern. So that would be
so that's 7:30.
7:30 for you.
7:30 my time. Yeah, I have to get up a little bit early. I'll wash my hair and it'll be all right.
Oh, perfect. We tell everyone to come as they are. It's okay. We don't need to be fancy. If you want to come, come with a wig on. It doesn't matter. You don't need to have fancy hair. So if you're watching and you're afraid because your hair won't be curled, just come on down.
Okay, all right. So, we've all had successes in our lives, but we've also all failed at one time or another, right? Mm-hmm. It's just a part of life. So tell us about a failure that you had and what lessons you learned from it.
Oh, there's too many. Maybe the most recent one was, I was working, I don't even know if I can consider it a failure, but, one of the biggest struggles I find is even around, pitching certain workshops or getting people to do, work with you. And I was working with an organization, and I had done some work with them, and then they wanted another, I guess a next step you can call it. And I gave the next step, and something in that didn't resonate with them. And so they said no. And it was a quick kind of just like no. And for me, I'm sharing this because I'm sure there's people out there who get no's, right? And I thought, well, this was probably this was not good. I've been doing work with this organization, and I sent them over a proposal after they said price doesn't matter, and price did matter. I think it was way too much. But when I think about that and I think of it as a failure, I just think that I didn't spend enough time with that client understanding their need and what they really wanted. And so that opportunity there that I missed out on had me look at my the discussions that I have with organizations before I send them any sort of next step. It allowed me to just really make sure that I'm truly understanding their need and what they're needing, and not sending them something that I think they need. And that happened in 2021. And since then, I've been very intentional and, asking a lot of questions. What do they need? And, how can I serve them? And so it just, we get excited, I think, in our business when things are going really well. And then sometimes we may get a little sloppy. And I think in that moment, I just may not have served them in the way that they wanted to be served. And so I took that as an opportunity to go, okay, you need to slow down, and you need to make sure that you're really understanding who you're serving, what they need, and then if you can serve them, you go and serve them. And what's really cool is this year, actually, I had an opportunity to do that exact same work with another organization. And this time the organization didn't even look at the price. They just said, we trust you. You've been working with us. You've done some incredible work. And let's do this. And I was kind of like, well, can you just look at the price? Can you just look at what I'm offering you? Because I don't want this to, backfire. But it just taught me to, sometimes we need to slow down to really go far.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree with you. So, we know that entrepreneurial journeys go in all kinds of ways, right? Yours go one way, mine go another way, someone else goes another way. But if someone was sitting and they were not an entrepreneur yet, they are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, what would you tell them would be the first one or two things they really need to do to get started?
I think they need to surround themselves with a good support network. I believe that without the support of, the John Maxwell team and the connections that I made there, I wouldn't be here today. And so, not only understanding what it is that you want to do. I think most people who come into the world of entrepreneurship, they want to be an entrepreneur. They know they want to do something. They don't always know maybe how that's going to turn out or what that looks like. But when you surround yourself with the right people, then you have people who are able to help you think differently or challenge your thinking or give you, really great ideas. And then you're able to move ahead quicker than on your own, right? We often don't want to, and this is kind of that parallel. I don't have money, so I can't invest in maybe a team like John Maxwell or a coach or whatever. But yet, if I try and do this on my own, it's going to take me even longer.
Yeah.
And so if you can't invest, then start your own network. Find some people, right? The law of the environment from 15 Laws is who you surround yourself is really going to impact your impact and your ability to do this thing that you want to do. So if you're starting out, I say really look around you. Who is surrounding you? Are you surrounded by people who want you to succeed, who are going to be there to help you succeed? Or are you surrounded by people who are pulling you down and talking your dream down or telling you, because oftentimes those are people who just don't have dreams themselves.
Right.
Right. So who you surround yourself with, especially in the beginning, I think matters. And then getting that great support to be able to encourage you along the way.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So, final question for you, Tessa. And tonight we're listening to Miss Tessa Kampen. She's a leadership development expert, and she has a company, Tessa Kampen, and she can go into your organization and help you. She can go in your organization and help you understand how to better communicate with people. She can go into your organization and help you understand how to help your people grow at different levels, right? Whether it's senior leadership, whether it's middle managers, or it's entry level employees. That's what she does. And so feel free to reach out to her at tessakampen.com. So my final question for you is, if there was a book that was written about you, what would the title of the book be? And what would it say in the back of the book in the summary about you?
I didn't prepare for this one. I'm going to have to go with, this is actually like a tagline that I've had for many years. And it's inspired to inspire. And I think at the back, it would talk about someone who was inspired to go out and inspire people to be the change. For so many years, I thought I was too small to make an impact in the world around me, but we're never too small to go out and make an impact, right? We're never just one person, because when you go and inspire other people to go and do things, they are just that ripple effect of who you are and what you're wanting to do in the world. And so I would hope that the back would talk about how, I started my journey and I inspired other people to be inspired by their journey, by their growth, by their passions, by their dreams, and to go out and follow and live them out, right? We only have this one life. And I think we owe it to ourselves. We owe it to God. We owe it to the world around us to deliver our uniqueness into this world and not hold any of that back.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. With that, man, I'll tell you what, we had a wonderful time. It's amazing this hour has gone by. I could spend another hour sitting here talking to Tessa, but I know she has other things to go do besides sitting here talking to little old me on this show. But thank you for coming on the show. I truly appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. So, audience, as you know, every Monday night at 6:30 Central Time, we will be here with Talk Leadership with Cedrick. On Wednesday, make sure you tune in for Cut the Card at noon with Cedrick and Heather S. And also, folks, I want you to remember Tuesday night at 6:30 Eastern Time. I'm sorry, at 7:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Central Time. We'll be live on the Empowered Living Network with the Black Entrepreneurs Institute live show. Make sure you go out and have a great rest of your day. Make sure you go out and have a great rest of your week. anyone trying to stop you and get in your way, just understand that they are average, and average will always keep you average. It's important that you understand, folks, that you are not average. You need to make sure that you understand that you are gifted, you're talented, you have all the skills that you need. It's all about you taking hold of your life and your dreams and your goals and going after it with unbridled passion. That's right, I said it. Go after it with unbridled passion. Last thing that I always leave you with, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and don't be on the menu. Thank you and have a good night. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Is it done? Is it still on? I mean,
no, hold on. It hasn't disconnected yet. Okay.